Welcome back to the Weber Cup. It is all about the Sunday action. It's been thrilling, world-class bowling so far. Europe need 2 more for victory in this year's Weber Cup. They've got their first point on the board in the afternoon. Can Stuart Williams make it another one against Bill O'Neill, who's searching for his first point of the whole weekend? Let's head over to Cass Edwards and Simon Golding.
Well, it's been a brilliant Weber Cup so far, but there's just been that one vital ingredient missing. Some tight finishes to matches, and this afternoon's session on the final day has delivered exactly that. We've had incredible excitement through all 4 games so far. We've got 2 left in this session, and Team Europe can get the job done right here. Stu Williams and Bill O'Neill then next up in the singles, followed by a Scotch doubles. And it's the Scotch doubles where that vital point could be won if Stu Williams can put this one away. So Williams to open against O'Neill. And the danger here, Cass Edwards, is that we ignore Bill O'Neill at our peril.
Yes, he's had a torrid time, averaging 172 over his 3 singles games. Just checking that strike of Stu Williams, but yeah, this is the man. He is the real deal. He's had a terrible time so far, and he's got to work his way back sometime, and it could well be here.
Yeah, those are not stats that he will want to read again. But he's gone about it in the right way. He said you just have to write these things off. You don't want to analyse them. You'll get yourself in a bad place. He's had more open frames than anyone at this tournament. He's been consistently bowling sub 200 games, but the most important fact about O'Neill is he hasn't contributed a single point to the US score, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, his major problem has been open frame splits. He seems to have left splits all round the pin deck on more than two or three occasions.
Leaves the 7. He's tutted all the way. Drove quite nicely into the pocket, but just didn't get the mix.
Yeah, as you say, something that's pretty straight. It turns up nicely into the pocket, but that 4-pin just doesn't touch the 7 at all. It's supposed to bounce off the kickback and take it away. So it can only be a spare.
The spare superstar hit those 2 pins in the Scotch doubles with Don Barrett to put a very good point on the board. Did Stu Williams in the last match. Back to this man then. The real deal. He had a tough time of it. He made a lot of TV finals in the States a few years ago and was unable to close the deal to win his first PBA title. And he had a difficult time then with people talking it up, the monkey on his back and so on. But he came through that, did Bill O'Neill. Fortunately, at the moment, he's not coming through this test at Weber Cup 16, and after a really good-looking ball, first time up, this is not good.
Just tight left inside his mark. It's gone through the head pin. It's left the 3, the 6 and 10, which is a makeable spare, but he had the opportunity to make 2 strikes in a row and jump off to an early lead.
Well, it happened to him last year. I think the feeling in the American camp was lightning can't strike twice when it comes to a player of Bill O'Neill's talent. But I'm afraid it has. He's been zapped for a 2nd year at the Weber Cup, and he's in a real fight here with Stuart Williams.
Yeah, it's not as if bowling on TV is a problem for him. He's had 28 TV finals in the United States on the American Tour. He's 4th year here at the Weber Cup.
Again, it cuts up on him. This time doesn't drive into the pocket, straight through the head pin. And it's a horrible split, and that will settle Bill O'Neill, surely.
Yeah, I'm afraid Stuart's just much too much left inside his mark. He's left the big 4, we call them. It's the 4-pin, 6, 7 and the 10.
Gave it a go.
It is an open frame, and Stuart's just got to get that radar slightly redirected back to the pocket.
Yeah, that heavy oil pattern that we've got down, it's called the long sword, out at 45 feet, has lasted very well. So actually conditions for the players on the lane have remained virtually the same. The test is being that accurate with an oil pattern that goes so deep on the 60 feet. Kaminsky said, the plan of reducing the scores by Team USA by choosing this pattern has worked. It means they've had a couple of ugly wins, but they need wins. They'll take them any way they can get them.
Yeah, that's right, Simon. Even if it's 150 or a 170, Bill can hit 170s. Could he win on that score? Highly unlikely, but you never know. He's left the 2 and the 8-pin sleeper here off a light ball that went in the head pin. So he's under pressure.
Yeah, and a little tester here as well. The sleeper on the spare is never fun. Deals with it well.
Yes, it's all, as you were talking about the lane conditions, Sam, it's all down to accuracy to find that strike line, and then repeatability. It's no good just doing it once or twice in a game. Got to string those 4 or 5 strikes in a row, and at the moment, under this lane conditions, it doesn't seem like anybody's mastering it.
Well, look at this. Don Barrett hopping out of his chair because Stuart Williams says, "Skipper, I need a word." And there's a little discussion here between the two. I'm just wondering whether Stuart is saying, look, my thought process is I need to change something here. Captain, what do you think?
He's probably said, just get out there and get on with it. But it's a ball change by the look of it.
There's the change. And the point is, all the time, it doesn't matter what sport you play. If you're going to do something, commit to it. So Stuart Williams now doesn't want to be 50-50 about this. He's made his change. He's made the call. Commit. Well, he did. He did commit, and he says immediately to Don Barrett, yeah, I like that reaction. Just didn't get the break.
It was a great ball reaction off his hand, but it was a terrible reaction in the pin deck. A solid 9-pin standing there. So much power here. The ball's gone through the 1, 3 and the 5-pin, and there's no deflection onto that 9-pin, so it stands there solidly and can only be a spare of what was a really good looking strike shot.
So just turn down the afterburners, Stu, and we'll get there. And there's Don Barrett, the captain. It's just giving him that piece of advice. And a reminder, sitting next to Parker Bohm, chatting away to PB3. It's all good. Just a reminder of how close these players are. They bowl a lot together during the course of the year. O'Neill, good shot. That's a good shot from the real deal.
Yeah, certainly took advantage of Williams not striking. A bit more power and aggression this one. It really rips the rack right in the pocket. I'm going back to Simon, what you were saying about these guys. They're all flying out after the Weber Cup, all flying straight into Las Vegas for a big doubles tournament on the American Tour. So they'll have time on their flight to catch up with sleep and or conversations, no matter who wins this event.
Going to be a long flight for the losers, though. No way around it. Stuart Williams is trying to recover, but he's got himself into a bit of a spot here in this game, and he can't find a way out.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate with the big split that he had. Now that he's making the pocket with the ball change, he's not carrying the corner pins.
We've seen it time and time again on this long pattern. You have to trust yourself. You've got to just take that speed back a notch or two. Let the ball do its work as it goes into the pocket. And there you go. There's always talking bowling. It never stops. That's great though, isn't it? One of the legends chatting to one of the new superstars.
If I bowl here, you bowl there, and then we'll sort it out later. Bill O'Neill looking for 2 strikes in a row. How important is this ball?
It was a massive ball. Again, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to do the right things here. But when you go into the pocket light like that, any difference on the angle is going to kill him.
Just a little bit high on the speed there. Didn't give the ball time to react and come back. So it's just 1 pin standing up. Had the opportunity there to take advantage of the previous strike and make 2 in a row. So he's kind of let Stu Williams off the hook a little bit. Hard and fast for the spare, which is easy to do, but spares are not what he needs.
We've talked up a bit of afters between these two over the course of the last afternoon and evening's play. There was a couple of comments exchanged, and the players played it down, as you should do in these circumstances, but when we had a little look at the footage, there was clearly some words exchanged on the stage between Stu Williams and Bill O'Neill. And Stu Williams deals with all of that very, very well. But he can't deal with this lane pattern. He just can't find a way through the oil.
He actually moved way left on the approach there with his feet to try and open up the angle on this lane. Almost went coast to coast. See how far left he is with his feet. Which is pretty unfortunate. But
It's makeable. It's a brilliant spare again. Well, that is one of the elements that has underlined this European performance here in Barnsley this weekend. The spares that they have hit have been sensational.
Look at this shot. So accurate he had to be, and he was picture perfect. Don't you just love that? It's a game saver so far.
It is. It's a lifeline for Beef Stew, but it's a motivational ball as well. Good shot, and he's unlucky. Well, that's unfortunate. You've got to feel for the guy when you're throwing the ball pretty well, which Bill O'Neill is doing in this game.
This is pretty unbelievable. This ball's just got away to the right-hand side. Makes the headpin just, but leaves the 2, the 8 and the 10, and this is going to be another open frame split for Bill O'Neill, which is what he's been doing, unfortunately, in previous matches in this tournament. He really is suffering on big splits.
Yeah, he's had 7 of them out of the 21 that the States had had up to the start of today. He needs a bit of brilliance here, but he settles for the 2 and decides that, OK, I still have that marginal advantage. Let's go again. He's letting it get to him, though, isn't he?
He's certainly a man under pressure. He can't believe what's going on out there.
He said, that's all I have. Over there to the American players. That's what Bill O'Neill just said. Here you go. That's it. That's all I have. What else can I do, Skip? That's all I have. Officer and a gentleman, wasn't it? I've got no place else to go. And neither is Stu Williams at the moment.
Well, yeah, unfortunate for Bill, he's really under pressure. He maybe has no other bowling balls to go to, no other line to work on. This very long oil pattern is not being kind to anybody at the moment.
You know what? This may just develop into a battle of the spares if they continue like this.
Well, Stuart Williams has gone 6 frames without a strike, which is pretty much unbelievable, really.
The old dry spell. Not fun. Not when you're in front of this many people. Worldwide television coverage. It's getting tough down there. O'Neill then to try and respond. Oh, the messenger was good as well, but just couldn't quite tap the 10-pin out.
Yeah, nervous times, I'm afraid, for Bill O'Neill. It has been for the whole tournament. Right in the pocket, gets the ringing 10-pin. 6-pin just jumps around and misses it totally. Well, makeable spare. Look at the oil on that ball. Right rim round the track. That's the spare. It's 7 frames now. We're now getting down to the closing stages, and it's still just a 5-pin game.
These are the times when Chris Barnes, the former captain, will be sitting there and saying, "Look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard, Bill. You can win this."
Well, he's in front, but just 3 frames to go.
It's toe-to-toe. Williams in the lowest scoring game that he's bowled so far at Webber Cup 16. Trying to pull something out the fire. A strike will start. He's been trying everything, hasn't he, Cass? He's been trying pace, he's been trying feet on the lane, he's been trying everything.
Yeah, well, he's been way left on the approach, and of course he's dropping that ball right in the oil in the middle of the lane, so he's certainly slower, but the ball's aquaplaned until it gets to the back end and then it snaps up. Great reaction in the back end, but yeah, definitely a slower shot. Sets himself up for frame 9 and 10 with that great strike.
Like a chess player thinking a few moves ahead, Williams at the moment. And that might just be that, I'm afraid, for Bill O'Neill.
It's another great big split that is going to be unsparable, I'm afraid, and as you say, Simon, it could be the game loser. Look how wide that shot's gone. That was just an error. He's had no luck in the pin deck with pins breaking up. He's left the 8 and the 10.
Well, Bill O'Neill was saying that's all I got to his skipper, but he's left the stage to see if he's got anything else. They do travel with a fair few balls, these guys, and the Americans travelling, we think, with about 6 ball changes. And this is going back to the cherry, the ball that we were calling yesterday. I thought he threw this well.
This may be a shot at a strike.
Yeah, it's a test.
Yeah, it's a test. They're trying to find a pocket shot. The split was gone. He knew that was going to be an open frame.
It's another open frame, I'm afraid, and this American team, far from being untouchable, a la Elliot Ness, it's more like the unsparables, I'm afraid, here in Barnsley. And that's the man for whom misfortune has fallen most. No points. Just doesn't seem to know how to play, not just this oil, but this Weber Cup format either. It's not been a happy hunting ground for Bill O'Neill, and that's why he's sat there, dejected, at the back of this stage, watching Stuart Williams potentially apply the first of the finishing touches. Looking for a double. And in a game like this, double's crucial. He's going to have to settle for a 9-pin spare, which is not too bad in the circumstances, but it does keep things tasty.
Crikey, did he need a strike there? A double would have sewn this one up, but he leaves the 10-pin in the corner. Simon, I'm just going to go back to what you said about the number of bowling balls that the guys travel with. Yes, the Americans got up to about 6 bowling balls each, but Tommy Jones was saying to me that Don Barrett has got more bowling balls than the whole of the American squad together, which is just ludicrous. So he was kind of hinting that the Europeans may have more of an arsenal to turn to.
Once again, Bill O'Neill has an opportunity, and in simple terms, it strikes. Bill O'Neill needs to strike in this foundation frame. If he does that, then he sets up the opportunity to strike it off the card in frame 10 and maintain that score of 191, which shuts out Stuart Williams. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
Well, he did say that's all he's got. He changed to that ball. He needed a strike. He's gone flush through the head pin for yet another big split that will be unsparable. I'm afraid it looks as though it's all over for Bill O'Neill and Team USA in this game.
So Williams, coming off that 9 spare in the foundation frame, has his opportunity now to shut his opponent out. 3 strikes does it. If Williams doesn't strike, we go again.
3 strikes for a 189.
Oh, it's brilliant. Right on cue. And this final day of bowling in Weber Cup 16 is producing pressure point after pressure point. And Stuart Williams, the latest man on this European team to come through it in style. That's 2 balls he's thrown this afternoon that will potentially give 2 points to Team Europe. Williams is the man.
He needs one more pin on the next 2 shots.
Even I can do that, Cass.
Well, on a good night, yes, Simon.
Rolls it into the middle of the deck to underline another fabulous performance. The scores have been horrible this afternoon. The action has been amazing. And a little tap on the shoulder for Martin Larsson to say, don't worry, boy, I got your back.
I'm looking across at Bill O'Neill.
Oh, you just don't want to look at Bill O'Neill. I don't think he'll be signing up with the Barnsley Tourist Board for any promotional work in the near future. He is a man broken. It is a horrible situation for him.
I was just going to say, Simon, I was looking at Bill O'Neill and he looks devastated. This is likely to be his lowest scoring game. He hasn't hit a 200 at all this weekend. This may be his last singles game, and he's got to strike out, if at all possible, for 170, and the crowd will help him because he is a desperate man at this particular time.
Just get this crowd generous to the last, and they'll react like this whether USA are down like they are at the moment or up. That's what I love about this Barnsley Metrodome crowd. So knowledgeable and so fair, but I tell you what, they will be smiling. Europe now have moved to the situation they've been looking for at the start of this afternoon session. They need one more point to win Weber Cup 16, courtesy of that fabulous performance from Stu Williams. Well, it's starting to happen now for O'Neill, but it is so late. Nothing he can do about it. Just bowl this next ball, get off the lane, and wait and see what happens. It's doubles next up, isn't it, Cass? So again, we're into that slight lottery situation, but Europe here with a golden opportunity to finish it off well inside time.
Yes, absolutely. The big problem with Bill O'Neill, yet again, 3 big splits, 3 big open frames. There's no way back from that. He can strike out for 170, but unfortunately it's all too late.
Well played, Stuart Williams, staying on the stage there just to commiserate with Bill Williams. But for the second time this afternoon, Stuart Williams has been Team Europe's hero. That's a phenomenal performance. 186 beats 170 to take it to 16-7. And the fact of the matter is that here at Weber Cup 16, Europe need just one more point for the win. More to come after the break.